Hello, welcome to Connection Point Colabo Project. My name is Rachel Bacobo and I am the founder of the Colabo Project. So I wanted to tell you a little bit about this website and how I got started and just kind of walk you through the phases that it's gone through and the stories that brought us up to this point. So I'm going to take you through a series of 5 different videos. Hopefully they're short enough in length that you will want to watch the rest of them. But I titled this one Faith on Fire because it really has to do with that faith on fire. And it was in a time of my life where the Lord began to prompt me and move me and send me in different directions, just to learn to follow His voice, to understand what He's speaking. And so I'm going to take you back to 2013. I was driving on my way to work. I was a technical designer at Spirit, and I saw the smoke. I smelled the smoke coming from the direction that I was going to be headed to go to work. It was a little bit off the route. And so I drove over there. I'm one to go towards a fire, not away from it. That's just my personality. So I drove over there, and I saw the people in the parking lot. There's a Sharon Baptist Church over there in our neighborhood, and there were so many people just crying, and I remember stopping. I got out of my vehicle, and it was like this slow motion. You ever watch a movie and you're watching this slow motion take place? And that's how it was. And I saw the smoke rolling, and the sun was behind, and it's like everything went dim. Everything went dim. And I heard the Lord say to me, this impression in my heart, in my spirit, to the very depths of my core. I said, God, what am I supposed to do? And He said, you're going to help them. And I'm like, but God, I'm just one person. How can I help them? He said, you're going to connect with the mother church of the church that you go to. And so at that time, my husband and I, we helped start the Aviator North Church plant out in North Wichita at Evergreen Rec Center. And our people, we wanted to help our people, because they were in need. They needed food. They needed clothes. They needed things. And so I couldn't go there and ask them, like, hey guys, do you want to help these people? I could have. I think it would have went a little bit different. But the Lord said, you're going to go to Derby. I said, okay, God. All right. So that Sunday, I let my husband know. I said, we got to go to Derby. The Lord is calling me to step up and somehow help them, and maybe I'll ask the pastor if we can help in some way. So we get there, and the pastor's talking about, having that fire, that drive, right? So that's obviously a prompt, right? Stirring in my spirit, like at the edge of my seat, like this. And another prompt, he says, what did he say? He said something about being crazy for Jesus, and hey, that's me. I'm crazy for Jesus. So I remember sitting there, and I'm like, Lord, I don't want to get up. He's like, get up. I said, Lord, I don't want to get up. And He reminds me of this story that our pastor had went into explaining during another Sunday. And he was talking about this guy who, in the middle of service, felt prompted to get down on all fours and do push-ups in the middle of service. While during this time, there's another guy across the way who is praying, God, if you're really there, I need to know. I need to know that you're really there. And so he sees this guy doing push-ups in the middle of service. Well, apparently that was something that was prompting his spirit. So then they talk about how he went up in front of the congregation and said that that was the reason why he wanted to be saved, why he wanted to get saved, because he knew that God was hearing him and listening to him. So all of a sudden, I'm like really on the edge of my seat by this time. And the Lord said, that's what I want you to do. I'm like, I think you have it wrong, God, because I don't want to interrupt him in this service. And then my husband looks over and he's like, baby, are you okay? I'm like, yeah, but I think that I'm supposed to get up and I'm supposed to talk about that fire. He goes, I don't think that's God. I don't think he's telling you to do that. Right then, the Spirit took hold of my spirit and intertwined, and I was up in the middle of service. It's like almost like I had no control over what I was doing. And it was so crazy. It was like an out-of-body experience, and I don't remember much of what I said, but I know that I said something about, you were talking about this, you were saying this, and I am with you, and there is this Ashley Lane Apartments that just burned down this week, and I believe that we're supposed to help them, and everything that you're saying aligns with that. And so he was put on the spot, and I felt the uncomfortableness, and I was like, what did I just do? And so it was a very interesting experience, but everybody brought, so over the next couple of weeks, people brought things for these people, and I was able to bring them to Sharon Baptist because they have a food pantry, they have a clothes pantry, and they were right there in the neighborhood. And so that was when the Lord said, it's not about a church, but it's about the church coming together in unity for the community and for the cause of Christ. Sometimes it may be a little unsettling when somebody interrupts you in service, and I promise you that I asked the Lord, I said, please don't ever make me do that again. But I realized the Lord said, you didn't do anything wrong. You did exactly what I told you to do. And sometimes I need to know, you need to know, that when I ask you to take a stand, that you'll do it. That when I tell you to move, you'll move. When I tell you to stay, you'll stay. And see, during this time, I remember hearing on the radio that the food pantries were low. There were food pantries that were going to close down. There was not a lot of help. And, there was this low, this time of helping that none of the pantries got, you know what I'm saying. So I remember praying into that and pressing into that. And so anyway, it was a really crazy experience, but that's what the Lord is asking us to do. He's asking us to stand firm in Him. And He wants people that are going to rise up. He's saying, arise, Deborah, arise, Esther, arise, Joseph, arise, David. And He's saying, who will take a stand for me? Even in the uncomfortable situations, who's going to take that stand for me? And my people, my kingdom. And so He is putting out the call. And ever since then, there's so many different things that I have seen, that I have prayed for, that I've pressed into God for, that I've spoke out, and I'm seeing it now because that's God's heart. God's heart is that we be in unity for the community and for the cause of Christ. And so I believe that what He's asking you to do is take a stand. Do you have a ministry? Do you have something that God has put on your heart that you feel could benefit the community? Contact us. Do you feel that love of Christ so strong and He's put something on your heart that you want to connect, you want to collaborate with other people about, contact us. That's what this is about. So I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to start on video 2. So I'll see you in a second.